Hi, this is Scott Garibay, and today we're going to talk about Dungeons and Dragons, and we're going to just start a really big discussion on a Lego Dungeons and Dragons and what does Lego Dungeons and Dragons campaigning look like? How many different ways are there to do Lego Dungeons and Dragons campaigning? And there are many, many ways. And today we're just going to talk about the first. So what is the first? So first of all, February 7th, 1974, Dungeons and Dragons begins. April 1st, 2024, Lego Dungeons and Dragons begins. And you have I have the term. Okay, help me with the language here. Trad DMs, Trad Dungeon Masters, and Lego Dungeon Masters, right? So what is a Trad Dungeon Master? Somebody who plays the old traditional way of Dungeons and Dragons, playing without Legos, right? Now, I think we should allow a space for them in the community, and we should tolerate them. They are, second tier participants at this point, but we love them. They buy the D&D canon hardbacks. We still have love for them, and I think we should make sure that they're still welcome in the community, right? But Lego Dungeon Masters who use Lego, how they have an array of new ways to play Dungeons and Dragons, and I want to talk about that today. So the first way that a Lego Dungeon Master can run Lego Dungeons and Dragons is the Red Dragon's Tail campaign. Okay, so Red Dragon's Tail is a set. It's the first Lego set ever, right? Which is really important. And then there's the Red Dragon's Tail Adventure, right? And so spoilers here for the Red Dragon's Tail Adventure. So the Red Dragon's Tail Adventure, Irvin Soulfallen has imprisoned the owner of In Plain Sight in the dungeon, and he has stolen Cinder Howl's egg, right? So the player characters find this out, and the way this should go is that the golden path on this is they rescue Alex Jade Scale, who's the owner of In Plain Sight. He's like, Irvin Soulfallen, is not the owner of the site, owner of the inn. I am. And he got the dragon's egg. And then Cinder Howl comes, and the player characters are supposed to give the dragon egg back to Cinder Howl. Tell me if I'm wrong, but if 4 5th level characters fight an adult red dragon, they're all going to die, right? And the In Plain Sight is going to burn to the ground, and Alex Jadescale is going to die, and Irvin Soulfallen is going to die, almost certainly. I don't think there's any way around that, right? So basically, what happens once you run that, one way that a Lego Dungeon Master can continue is they just continue with the same characters: the Gnome Fighter, the Elf Wizard, the Orc Rogue, right? And the Dwarf Cleric, right? And at that point, I would position the In Plain Sight 50 miles north of Phandalin. So it would be in the middle of the Neverwinter Woods, positioned between Waterdeep, positioned between Neverwinter and Waterdeep, in the Forgotten Realms. And I would put it, just south, a good 50, 75 miles south of Mount Hope now, right? And then the campaign goes from there, and it's a traditional Forgotten Realms campaign. And what ends up happening then at that point is you already have a huge array of weapons, right? And there's over 50 magical items, and they're going to be well provisioned, right? And so you could take them all the way up to 20th level. So that's the first thing that can be done with Lego Dungeons and Dragons, is to run the Red Dragon's Tail campaign. And that is a Forgotten Realms campaign where you have the core 4, and they are going from 5th level to 20th level. And you can easily incorporate every single Dungeons & Dragons canon hardback is now going to be doable. And trust and believe, there are so many Legos out there that you're easily going to be able to represent anything you need to run this really robust, really rich experience. So the first thing you could do as a Lego dungeon master is you can run the Lego Dungeons & Dragons Red Dragon's Tail campaign and simply literally use the core 4, those very special player characters that were introduced in the Red Dragon adventure, and you could bring that forward in you could just bring that forward, and it's very direct, it's very robust, it's an excellent campaign, and for $360 you're going to get probably 40 to 80 hours of play or more, maybe 150 hours of play, times 4. That's going to be pretty amazing. So every single word you just heard is my humble opinion. What's important is when I get to hear your humble opinion. When you get in the comments and send your traffic, please consider liking and subscribing, and have a fetch millennium.